Money.
Good evening, and welcome to the City of Smyrna Planning and Zoning meeting. Today is Monday, February the 9th, 2015 at 6 p.m., and this meeting's called to order. At this time, we'll ask you to turn off any electronic devices as they will interfere with our recording equipment. For those of you joining us for the first time, this meeting is conducted much like a council meeting. As such, each application will include a presentation from city staff, followed by a question and answer session between staff and the board. Following the staff's presentation, we'll have the applicant present their case and answer any questions. Once the questions have been satisfied, we'll have an opportunity for anyone in attendance that would like to come forward and speak in favor of or opposition to the application. We ask that you come forward one at a time, state your name and address for the record, and sign the sign-in sheet at the podium. Do we have a sign-in sheet at the podium tonight? Okay, excellent. And please direct all your comments to the board. The first item on our agenda is Z15-001. This is a rezoning application from R15 to RAD conditional for the development of 3 single-family residences on a 0.639 acre lot at 488, in land lot 488, excuse me, 2784 and 2798 Hamby Street. This is the Pradera Group. Mr. Martin.
Good evening. This case will be heard by you all tonight, and you guys are making a recommendation to mayor and council, and mayor and council will hear the case on March 16th, and they'll make the final decision. The applicant is Pradera Group, and this is the only case, Z15-001. There are 2 parcels there today. They're requesting a rezoning from R15 to RAD conditional. Size of the tract is 0.6 of an acre. It's located in Ward 3. There are 2 existing single-family homes on site today. They're proposing to demolish those 2 homes and develop 3 new single-family homes at a density of 3.69 units per acre. This is the zoning vicinity map. I'd like you to look and see the dark green property to the immediate north. That was the property that you guys rezoned approximately 4 to 6 months ago by the Wrigley Group. Essentially the same size property, 1 house to 3 houses, and at a density of about 4.75 units per acre. The rest of the property to the east is zone CBD, to the south is R15, and to the west is RAD, and it backs up to Parkview Village. The existing future land use for the property is medium density residential, which allows for densities between 4.5 units per acre and up to 6. They are not requesting a land use change. The requested density falls within the future land use classification for the site. If you look to the north, it's zoned medium density residential. To the east, it's mixed use and medium density residential, and then to the south is medium density residential, and to the west is moderate density and medium density residential. Here's the proposed site plan. As you can see, all 3 homes will front on Hamby Street and have direct access off of Hamby Street. They're proposing a front setback of 20 feet, side setback of 5 feet, and a rear setback of 30. They're proposing individual stormwater management facilities for each site. The water that's captured from each roof will go directly into those stormwater management facilities. Here are the proposed home elevations, very similar to what was approved to the property to the north. Pictures of the subject property as they stand today, and pictures of adjacent properties to the north, south, and east. These are just representations of the area. They're not supposed to be a picture of every single property out there. Community Development recommends approval of the requested zoning from R15 to RAD conditional for the construction of 3 new single-family residences at a density of 4.69 units per acre with the following conditions. I'm not going to read all the standard conditions because those are ones that we normally apply to every zoning. But 1, the composition of the homes shall be a mixture of elements. 2, the detention pond should be placed and screened appropriately and not visible from the right-of-way. 3, all utilities within the development shall be underground. 4, developers shall be responsible for any traffic improvements deemed necessary by the city engineer. 5, no debris may be buried on any lot or common area. 6, the developer shall comply with the city's tree ordinance. 7, all landscape plans must be created by a landscape architect. 8, all yards and common areas will be sodded and landscaped. Special condition. Number 9, the development shall maintain the following minimum setbacks: a front setback of 20, a side setback of 5 with a minimum building separation of 10 feet, and a rear setback of 30. Number 10, the minimum driveway length from building face to back sidewalk should be 22 feet. 11, the developer should provide a 5-foot sidewalk with a 2-foot grass buffer. 12, the developer shall be required to bore across Hamby Street for water service. 13, the developer will be required to install a sanitary sewer main extension from either Powder Spring Street or Bank Street to serve the development. All damages and repairs to streets, landscaping, sidewalks are the responsibility of the developer. 14, the outlet from the drop inlet shall be a 15-inch RCP and shall extend beyond the rear of the proposed residence. The developer shall provide measures to prevent adverse effects downstream due to concentrated flow. 15, approval of the subject property for the RAD zoning district shall be conditioned upon the development of the property in substantial compliance with the site plan submitted. And 16, the applicant shall be bound to the elevations submitted and dated 1/9/2015. Approval of any change to the elevations must be obtained from the Community Development Director. With that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from Mr. Martin? Thank you, Rusty. At this time, I'd like to ask the applicant to come forward, state your name and address for the record, and tell us a little bit about your plan.
Good evening. My name is Mike Wadsworth. My address is 4340 Woodland Brook Drive, Atlanta, Georgia, 30339. Without being too redundant on Rusty Martin's comments, our plans are to demolish the 2 homes that are existing on the site today. Both of these homes are functionally obsolescent. They're 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and they're both being operated as rental housing. We would build 3 new residences, either on slab or crawl spaces. They would average 3,000 square feet of heated space, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 to 3 baths, 2 stories, 2-car garage, brick and stone accents on the front. Would be priced between the mid 450s and the high 400s. We think the benefits to the city and the residents of Smyrna include a revitalized housing stock, transition from renters to homeowners, increased tax base, additional population within walking distance to the Smyrna Market Village to help support retailers, and improve neighborhood aesthetics. What our plans would be to start construction on 2 of the homes immediately. One of them would be a master on the main, and the other one would be a master upstairs. We're good builders. We primarily build in Brookhaven. Our price points are $700,000 to $1 million. We would try to achieve a similar aesthetic here in Smyrna at the price points that I just mentioned.
Very good. Any questions? Boy, we're a lively bunch tonight, Mike.
Exciting. 3 homes, I know.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Are you working with the developer next door?
We've met with him. We've talked with him. We would try to joint venture on bringing the sewer from Powder Springs Street up, but we've also got proposals to tie into Bank Street. So we're not really contingent upon him starting construction and bringing it up to his property. We're ready to move forward and go to Banks if we're ready to start before he is.
Now, if you bring it up from Bank Street, you have to bring it all the way up the center of Hamby, or are there going to be other easements involved?
I don't think it would go up the center of Hamby. It would go on the west side of Hamby before the gutter. So it would stay in the public right-of-way.
Okay. In the right-of-way? Okay. All right. Any other questions? Thank you very much. All right. This is a public hearing. At this time, we'd like to ask if there's anyone in attendance that would like to come forward and speak in favor of or opposition to. We take both this application. Let the record show that there's no one in attendance that wants to speak at this time. All right. Ladies and gentlemen.
I'd like to make a motion to approve zoning request Z15-001, rezoning from R15 to RAD conditional for the development of 3 single-family residences.
Move approved, Mr. Kemp. A second. Second, Mr. Roberts. All in favor, please vote now. It's approved 7-0. And Mike, I don't know if you know this, but your next door neighbor's sitting right behind you, so might want to cozy up. Y'all are going to be buddies for the next few months. So anyway, it's approved 7-0. Good luck with your project, and welcome to Smyrna. All right. The next item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes from December 8th, 2014. Are the board members in possession of the minutes? Does anyone have any changes they would like to make at this time? We've got a move to accept. Mr. Campo, a second, Mr. Rice. All in favor, please vote now. The minutes are approved 7-0. Without any further business, this meeting is adjourned at 6:15.